Hey, what's going on, guys? Kalamaz here. This is going to be my Dragonflight Alpha Destruction Warlock talent review, I guess, and discussion video. We're going to be talking about both like the single target builds, AoE builds, the cleave based builds, and basically every little bit of Destro and its talents that came out today that we possibly can. I'm going to say, without spoiling too much, Destro is probably my favorite spec out of all the ones that came out today. The tree looks really good. There are a lot of really cool, iconic returning abilities, and there's a lot of really cool talent combinations that you can actually get as well. So, yeah, with that being said, let's just jump right into it. If you guys like the video and like to support the channel more, be sure to smash the like and sub buttons below. All right, it's 5 in the morning. Let's get into it. Okay, so as mentioned, in the general class tree, there's going to be like one universal section this video used in all three. I'm not going to record the general tree 3 times, but there are some unique abilities in the general tree that affect different specs, like Demonology, sometimes Destro, and Affliction. So I'd encourage you to watch the general tree part of every video, but if you want to skip over it, there's timestamps below. So in the general tree, number 1, you start off by having Curse of Enfeeblement guaranteed. I'm not really sure why it's not marked here, but that's okay. We won't put a point in that. So Curse of Weakness, I believe, should be a part of Curses of Enfeeblement here. It's mentioned in Amplified Curse, but it's not currently part of our toolkit in-game. I think it's a bug, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to say the Warlock general tree feels pretty good to me. You can't get every single node of utility you have right now, but there's a lot of unique abilities, like the packs, like Soul Conduit being part of the general tree, which is being, I think, criminally undervalued right now, and Synergy being there as well. So starting off, this is going to be the Wildhead Calculator. The in-game one's a little buggy and finicky now, so we're going to use this. Number 1, I went Burning Rush, Fel Domination into double Demon Skin, double Fel Armor here. So Burning Rush baseline, we know what it does. You zoom. I didn't put any points in Imp Step here. It does reduce the damage of it and give you a bit more of a speed boost, but I don't think it's as relevant as other abilities we have. Double Fel Armor, when Soul Leech absorbs damage, 10% of your damage taken is absorbed and spread out until canceled, which is pretty wild. It's sort of like a weird kind of stagger ability. Plus a 3% DR and damage. Demon Skin, your Soul Leech absorption now passively recharges at a rate of 0.5 max health every 1 second, and may now absorb up to 500% of your maximum health. There's more abilities in this tree, but even with these two being the way they are, Warlock's pretty tanky. So spell lock here. So we have a player bound spell lock now. It's not bound to our Fel Hunter or our Felguard. The Fel Hunter and Felguard do indeed have spell lock and axe toss now. The Fel Hunter will be losing spell lock, they mentioned in a blue post. We're not sure about the Felguard yet, so gotta wait and see where that goes. But spell lock I took here. We need to take double accrued vitality because we want to get Demonic Circle. So this is an odd node. I don't really like it being here and connecting to Demonic Circle, but it is what it is. We also need to take here either Mortal Coil or Howl of Terror. I've taken Coil because it's universal applicability. Healing and caps are good at times. 20% heal on a pretty short CD. So the next row gets interesting. There's 8 points to be spent in this row here. We spent, this is already a talent once again baseline. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We spent 10. That's okay. So first thing here, Demonic Fortitude increases you and your pet's max health by 6%. So, if you're watching the Demonology video, Demonic Consumption is still a thing. So Demonic Fortitude, damage increase. If you're not, and this is the Destro AF video, more health is good for you. It's fine. This could be something you sort of skip if you're not playing Demo. Possibly, we'll come back to that, because this connects to Nightmare, which is a bit mediocre, and Shadow Fury, but it's a little big here. Wrathful Minion. Filling a soul shard increases the damage done by your primary pet by 5% for 8 seconds, so a bit more relevant for Demonology, but still good for all 3 specs here. Demonic Inspiration. Filling a soul shard increases the haste of your primary pet by 5 for 8 seconds. We take this as well. Demonic Embrace. Stamina increased by 10%, which we just grab right here. So we have Amplified Curse off to the side here. If Curse of Weakness is in-game, enemies being unable to critically strike is going to be very, very good for progression on bosses, but we're not sure if weaknesses make it in or not, so I didn't take this yet. We can come back for some utility later on if need be. That's fine. Sweet Souls is back. Your health stones heal you for an additional 10% of your max health. Any party or raid member using a health stone also heals you for that amount. So this is different from the health stone conduit we have now. The one we have now, it has to be your health stone that's used in a raid or party to heal you. But this means any health stone that's used in the raid heals the Warlock. So it can be your health stone, your friend's Healthstone who's a Warlock, any Warlock in the raid. This is a universal trait, so it's pretty good. Could possibly be changed out later on depending if you need points or not, but there's that. I didn't put any points in Lifeblood. It's okay, but you want Gateway here for sure. Banish, I didn't put any points in. You can take Greater Banish to banish undead, but these are a bit situational at times. When Banish is good, it's very good. But let's be honest, 9 times out of 10, you're never casting Banish. So if you need it, come back later on and get it. Didn't put any points in Nightmare. Once again, seems a bit mediocre. When Fear is good, it's very good in PvP and things, but I'm not doing it in PvP. So next row here, we have, 13 points available still. So Dark Pact, right here, bang. So off the bat, Burning Rush with Dark Pact. You can indeed have both. That's pretty solid. This is either a Strength of Will or Demonic Durability. I've opted for Strength of Will here over Demonic Durability. It can depend on the fight. If you want, you are on a shorter cooldown. Demonic Durability is fine. I've gone with Strength of Will, and you have Shadow Fury here. I opted not to point into Shadow Fury because it connects to Dark Fury and Shadow Flame, which both seem very situational. So I have gone Strength of Will and Dark Pact. Now, the next row here, we have 11 points available still. Okay, so you have Ichor of Devils. Dark Pact stacks 5% of your current health for the same shield value. Very good. Frequent Donor, which reduces the cooldown on Dark Pact by 15, which has a baseline cooldown of 1 minute. You have Claw of Endereth, which is used in PvP at times in some niche settings for Drain Life, dealing damage faster with ID. Spoilers ahead, ID is indeed in the Affliction tree. You have Dark Fury, Shadow Flame, and you have Grimoire Synergy here. So you have all utility spells and a legendary sitting in this row. You take Synergy. It's not hard. You take Synergy. You need 20 points to move on to the final bit here, which is now unlocked. If we take this point out, it's unlocked. Here we go. So we spent currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 points. So now this leads into Soul Burn. Soul Burn, we have Soul Link, which is also spec-wide. Every spec gets Soul Link. So you have Demon Skin, Fel Armor, Soul Link, Soul Leech. Warlock is going to be an absolute unit. You just can't die. The Dark Pact with UR, with Burning Rush, it's not as mandatory as like Synergy, but I've been taking Soul Link. So there's this. We have Soul Burn. It is back. It empowers certain abilities. So Demonic Circle increases your movement speed. It basically gives you Demonic Momentum. Demonic Gateway can be cast instantly, which can be used in certain spots. Drain Life gives you an Absorb Shield. Health Funnel restores 140% more health. And the big one at the bottom here, Healthstone. Soul Burn increases the healing of your Healthstone by 30% and increases your maximum health by 20%. Spoilers ahead. I have the Demonology tree open here. What scales with stamina? Demonic Consumption. If this is actually relevant, which it could be, I mean, popping Healthstones randomly for a 20% health increase can be strong if you set your Tyrant up right, but at the same time, you might need that Healthstone. It's worth keeping in mind. It's not bad. I don't think it's incredibly strong. It's okay. Utility is not bad. It's there, it's off to the side, but we take this because it connects to Pact of the Eridar and Dimensional Rift. So we take Soul Burn here, grab that. Pact of the Eridar. So there are packs on this row. Pact of the Eridar, Pact of Anilion, whatever. This is actually a demon, apparently. You have that and Pact of the Imp Mother. So Pact of the Eridar changes for each spec. Rapture increases damage of Agony by 5% for 6 seconds. Chaos Bolt increases damage of Immolate by 5 for 6 seconds. Demonology says Hand of Gul'dan increases damage of Imp Stew by 5% for 6 seconds, I'm pretty sure. It's not here, but that's fine. So I've gone Pact of the Eridar into Dimensional Rift. This is literally Legion, Destro Lock, Artifact Portals. Every single spec has access to them. There are 3 charges. It is copy pasta from Legion. It's very cool. Currently, it's only the Chaos. It's currently only one that has, it's the green one that launches like 1,000,000 bolts out, but it's still very cool. The thing is, it'll generate shards for Destro, but not necessarily for AF or Demo. I mean, it doesn't work for Demo, and it doesn't really work with AF currently. That might change based on how things go. They might just remove the Soul Shard clause. I don't know. We'll see. So I've gone this way. We actually end up having 4 points left here, and this is where it gets interesting. So you can go, for example, Soul Conduit, 1, 2, which is very undervalued right now. Having SC available is pretty wild for every spec. Soul Conduit, you can go Inquisitor's Gaze, you can grab Decimating Bolt right here, and that is going to be essentially your entire tree, which is solid, it's fine, it works pretty well. At the same time, if you would like to opt out of this and grab Summon Jailer, there's a way you can do it, which is sort of interesting. You can take out Demonic Fortitude, toss a point in here, and there's your entire final row. Now you can shift around Demonic Fortitude, you can take something, you can avoid taking Dark Pact, you can probably shift a point out of, let's see, what else can you take here? Shift a point out of Sweet Souls, technically, which might even be the play. If you're actually playing Demonology, you can just go Demonic Fortitude. I guess you have to, yeah, you have to get Dark Pact here, I suppose. But either way, you can take this point out here and swap this in and get all of your final abilities here. Now, this is not yet implemented on Alpha, but it's a damage increase. You can get all 3 capstones: Decimating Bolt, Portals, Summon Jailer, and there's more combinations than this in the actual tree. Now, you're missing out on Teaching the Black Harvest, which is an increase to your pet value. I think it's sort of undertuned, honestly. It can be good in certain spots. You're not getting Pact of the Imp Mother, which is a Grimoire Sacrifice thing, or primary pet damage amp. And you're not getting Pact of whatever this is. I forgot what it does for Demonology. It's fine. I think this pack's probably the best. So you can customize a lot of this, and you're not getting Ichor of Devils or Frequent Donor. So you can change a handful of things, but either way, Warlock has a pretty good bit of utility in this tree. If you don't want, for example, if you need Banish, grab Banish. Take a point out of this. If you need Shadow Fury, grab Shadow Fury. You can change a lot of things around by removing Sweet Souls, put this here, you can do this, that. It works out pretty well. Oh, and I was sitting here thinking, man, I had one more point on Alpha. I know I did. They make you talent into this when on actual Wowhead, but this is a talent that's given to you off the bat on Alpha currently, so theoretically at this point I have 30 or 31 spent. You can plop that final point right into Demonic Fortitude. So if you don't even have to, you know, opt out of Sweet Souls or opt out of anything else here. You can get this entire tree, all 3 capstones, 1, 2, 3, Pact of the Eridar. You can go Pact of Anhelon or whatever, Pact of the Imp Mother if you want, and grab Demonic Fortitude. If you need Banish, grab it. Swap out Demonic Fortitude. If you need Shadow Fury, you can probably just swap that out once again and go here, right at Demonic Gateway. Warlock has the vast majority of their utility in this tree, being pretty easy to grab. Both Banish is pretty niche. Shadow Fury is used in more settings, Mythic Plus. You can grab it pretty easily. You might want to grab Amplify Curse as well. But overall, Locke has a lot of utility. We are nearly invincible. Dark Pact, bigger wall CDL, or bigger wall cooldown, Demon Skin, Fell Armor, class-wide Soul Link, stamina increases everywhere. The general tree, I think, looks pretty good. A couple things could be moved around, but overall, I like the general tree. Alrighty. Destruction is, in my opinion, the coolest talent tree of all the Warlock specs. There are so many cool, iconic abilities that are coming back in this tree. Let's just get into it. So we'll go into the right side, which is more like AoE based and all that, cleave based, havoc based, and then get into the single target side too. So number 1, Chaos Ball off the bat here. We have Conflict Rate, Rain of Fire here, and this row is interesting. This is where basically all of my frustrations lie with Destro. So you have the option of Havoc, Havoc, or Mayhem. Your single target spells have a 25% chance to strike a nearby enemy for 60% of normal initial damage. So Blizzard put out a post today. I forgot the exact wording on it, but they basically, I'm trying to paraphrase this in a correct way without sounding like I'm biased. It basically said that like Mayhem is sort of havoc for people that don't want to use Havoc. If you can't maximize Havoc or optimize it, just take Mayhem and it will be okay. But they literally said that Havoc is going to be more optimized and better for the spec and cleave base settings. I don't like that design ideology at all. Mayhem is cool, but I don't like that. That just seems like a very poor way of describing it, and like, I know what they're going for. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, just it's a very poor way of describing it. To me, it felt like, if you're not good, take this talent. If you're good, take Havoc. And I get what they're going for, but here's the thing. If I'm playing Destro and I want to cleave, I'm probably going to want to have Havoc, because if there are permanent adds, I want to be able to guarantee that I can cleave with Havoc when I want to cleave. If there are adds spawning at a certain time, I want to be able to guarantee that when that ad spawns, I am hitting that ad when it spawns. Not like, oh, I might cleave a random spell every once in a while with Mayhem. I don't think it's a... The design is cool. It reminds me of the Bracers from Legion. It's cool, but I think it probably just needs to go or be changed or moved somewhere. I don't know. I get what's in the Havoc row. I just don't think it's really something that should be in the tree. That's my hot take. I would like to see Magistrate Restraints brought back somewhere, but yeah, I'd say the same thing about Magistrate Restraints in this spot too. Putting it up against Havoc is like the baseline toolkit. Like, Havoc's been part of Destro for a long time. I don't think putting Mayhem here is a good idea. I don't think it's very good. But either way, so I'm going to choose Havoc in this spot. I know how to play Destro. At least I say I do. I'm taking Havoc. So moving on here, we're going down the right side of the tree. Reverse Entropy or Internal Combustion. So I see 2-target relevancy, single target relevancy, not as much AoE. Entropy, a bit more AoE relevancy. It's good all around. So Havoc leads into Entropy for me. And then we have the option of Pandemonium or Cry Havoc here. Pandemonium makes Havoc last 3 seconds longer, and Mayhem has a 10% chance, an additional 10% chance to trigger. Once again, I don't like Mayhem. It's whatever. Cry Havoc. Chaos Bolts duplicated by Mayhem or Havoc explode, dealing X damage to targets within 8 yards. Once again, if adds are spawning in waves every half a minute, if I am playing Havoc, I can go Havoc and launch 4 Chaos Bolts to have them all explode with Cry Havoc. But if I'm playing Mayhem, maybe it has some relevancy. I don't know. But who knows? We're playing Havoc, so Cry Havoc is actually good. I've chosen Cry Havoc here, for like Mythic Plus and things. Pandemonium can be better on like permanent cleave fights, council fights, 2-target fights, things like that where you have 2 permanent targets, right? So I've gone Cry Havoc. Now the other issue here, well, let's fill out the rest of this row first. Obviously, you want Rain of Fire. We have, this is called Pyrogenics over here. This is the ring, the Destro ring. Enemies affected by a Rain of Fire take 5% increased damage from your fire spells. Cool. We'll grab it in AoE. Sounds good. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points in this row so far. So over here, we have Inferno or Cataclysm together, which is a bit unfortunate, but makes sense. I'm opting for Cata early on. In mass AoE, Inferno can be good, and there are some talents down below which can make Inferno very good. But as of right now, I'm opting for Cata. I think it's better universally early on, all that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points spent. Actually, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I can count. So we do 1 more point. Perfect. Conflict rate. Oops, up the next row. Rolling Havoc is back. Very cool. Each time your spells duplicate to a Havoc target. Stop right there. The wording on that literally means that if you're playing Mayhem, this ability is just dead. It doesn't do anything at all. This connects to the Mayhem row, but it just says Havoc. So if your Mayhem cleaves, the wording says it won't even give you a stack of Rolling Havoc. But the thing is, once again, if you're playing Rolling Havoc, you know when you're going to be cleaving with Havoc. And you can stack this up to 10 stacks for a flat damage increase. This is very strong. Even if Mayhem does work this way, I might have an ad spawn and have a random bolt fly off in some direction. Oh, I get 1 stack of Rolling Havoc, or I get 10. It's not hard. Havoc is like just juiced up so much compared to Mayhem here. Rolling Havoc in cleave settings, you take it, you move on with life. It's great. So we have improved Immolate here, increase the duration of Immolate by 3 seconds and 6 seconds. I've opted not to go here for now. Yeah, it's just sort of, it's okay, but if you're playing Cata and things, it's probably fine. Chaos Shards is here, back from BFA. Sounds good. When you fill a Soul Shard up, you have an X% chance to generate an additional Soul Shard over 2 seconds. Solid, feels good. It works well with things like this. Something over here is fill shards. Works well with other abilities. So you have Fire and Brimstone here as well. Now, Fire and Brimstone is on the Cata Inferno row with retail currently. It is not. It is separate here. It is a passive. Incinerate now also hits all enemies near you for 7% damage. It can be 15, but it does not generate additional soul shards anymore. This ability is completely terrible. It is so bad. My Incinerate hit my main target for 2,000. It hit the surrounding mobs for about 200 damage. This ability is, it has gone backwards every single expansion from WoD. It's gotten worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. It is so abysmally bad. It needs a large damage buff or some shard generation attached to it. Probably both. It is so bad. So I'm not putting any points into it right now. We have Chaos Shards here, leading into, drum roll please, Flashpoint. Flashpoint and Rolling Havoc are both back. Now, it is not the juiced up 3-stack Flashpoint. It's 2% haste for 10 seconds, stacking it with 3 times, or 4% if you add 2 points to it. So a max of 12%. But 12% haste in Mythic Plus early on, even in like Cleave Fights later on in expansion, is very strong. That's very, very solid. Flashpoint's back. Rolling Havoc is back. 2 awesome traits from BFA. Incredibly exciting. Awesome to see. So we have in the middle here, Rolling Havoc is attached to Backlash, not Backdraft, but Backlash. So a 2% critical chance increase. There's 2 points in here. It stacks to 4. If you're meleeed, you can cast an Incinerate. It's sort of weird. 4% crit's a good bit, actually. Obviously, Chaos Bolt scaling, just baseline crit. It's not bad. You probably just take it and move on with life because it's okay. And that's that. So we currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I probably look up here. 15 points spent. We need 20 to open the next row. So Ashen Remains is here. Our Conduit returns. This is a sacrifice. It's terrible. Don't play it. Ashen Remains, 2 points here. Eradication is here. You can put these here if you want. You have 17 points spent in this tree right now. So I would go probably into Eradication. You can go into Fire and Brimstone if you want. I wouldn't fault you for it, but you don't need it for anything. You don't need to connect here. You've already got it. You don't need to connect here. So I would go Eradication. That's 19. And then 1 into Backdraft because you want this up here. For 20, the final row opens up, and this is where things get really interesting. So, Purple Rain, what is that? That is literally our 2-piece from retail right now. Every 15 shards spent grants you Ritual of Ruin, making your next Chaos Bolt or Rain of Fire consume no soul shards. The difference here, it has its cast time reduced by 50. So Rain of Chaos, still, or Rain of Fire, still instant. Chaos Bolt, shorter cast time. So you have the option of going right into your 2-piece right here, and if you go below it, there's the 4-piece. So the Destro 2-piece, 4-piece from retail is right there. This talent here reduces the shard cost by 2 and then by 5. It's 2.5 basically, but so you can get your 2-piece, 4-piece just right here. Destro, bam, you got it. Whatever you want to retail, right there. Very cool. This right here is Burn to Ashes. Chaos Bolt and Rain of Fire increase the damage of your next 2 incinerates by 15%. Stacks a bunch. It's okay. If you want it, it's probably fine. Not incredibly exciting. If you're pairing it with Fire and Brimstone, it can be okay, but still pretty mediocre. Keep in mind, you have Decimating Bolt here too for incinerate damage, but also pretty bad. I assume they scaled it down. So you can go here. Very solid. But your Infernal is also way over here. So we have currently 6 points left. So you can literally go into your 2-piece, 4-piece, Infernal Brand, the Conduit. But this is the pre-nerf Infernal Brand. It's 30% increased damage from Immolation Aura, stacking 15 times. That's 450%. This is the pre-nerf Infernal Brand. Infernal Brand and Reign of Chaos, which is right here, or Wilfrid's, are busted on offer right now. They are incredibly good. It is a whopping, it's an insane amount of damage you do in single target. And probably AoE too. It's very, very good. So you can go over here and grab your Infernal. You can grab Infernal Brand. If you don't want Infernal Brand, don't take it. Go around here and grab Crashing Chaos, which is back. Summon Infernal reduces the soul shard cost of your next 6 Chaos Bolts. It can be 3 with 1 point or 6 with 2 points. Shadowburn or Rain of Fire by 1. So Chaos Bolt costs 1 shard. Shadowburn costs 0? I don't know how that even works. 0, I guess. I guess you just launched 6. I didn't even know how that worked. Or Rain of Fire by 1. So if you take this and you're a Havoc window, you just launch 6 bolts. It's insane. And then you can go into Reign of Chaos or Wilfrid's here. And there's that. You even have 2 points left. So if you want to grab Infernal Brand, do it to it. So there's a few options here. You can get your Infernal. You can get your 2-piece, 4-piece. But you forgot about these abilities in the center here. Embers of the Diabolic Raiment, the legendary, is here. Incinerate now generates 100% more soul shard fragments. It's literally your legendary. Grab it if you want. Don't need to. It's cool. What does this lead into, though? Technically, you have this enabled already here. It's Madness of the Azek here, the legendary, but it's not even just regular Madness. They've made Madness now affect Rain of Fire and Shadowburn. Rain of Fire increases the damage of Rain of Fire by 12 for 4 seconds. Shadowburn increases Shadowburn damage. Chaos Bolt is only cast time reduction, but the other 2 are instant cast. So they've juiced up Madness. You can just go over here and take 2 points in Madness and you're good. Let's say you don't want to take your Infernal, though. You want to go back over here for whatever reason, right? No one, or just take Infernal, nothing else. You have Chaos Incarnate, Chaos Bolt, Rain of Fire, and Shadowburn always gain max benefit from your Mastery Chaotic Energies, which is actually pretty big because Destro Mastery has that element of RNG in it. Not anymore if you take Chaos Incarnate. What is this? Power Overwhelming. Consuming soul shards increases your mastery by 0.5 for 10 seconds, or 1% with 2 points in it. Gaining a stack does not refresh the duration, but that's a pretty decent mastery increase. So Destro has a lot of choices in the bottom part of the tree here. Personally, I want to start with a build like this. Probably playing Inferno Brand here, being honest, it seems pretty OP. And it's hard to say, like, Reign of Chaos is very strong, but 3-minute Infernal. Wilfrid's is like 2-minute Infernal, but no Reign of Chaos. So there's a bit of give and take there. I'm probably going to start with Wilfrid's and see where it goes. Reign's also very strong. And it might be better just taking Reign and going with your 4-piece. 2-piece, 4-piece, right? If you do that, you got 2 points left. You want to go double Madness? Do it. You want to go Madness, you want to go Embers and something else, 1 point in Crashing Chaos, do it to it. You want to throw a point here in Power Overwhelming, do it. This version of Destro feels really good. I played it in Plus. I mean, things are a little sketchy in Plus now, but you have Flashpoint, Rolling Havoc, 2-piece, 4-piece, Infernal, Reign of Chaos or Wilfrid's, Inferno Brand, pre-buff or pre-nerf Inferno Brand, Madness of the Azek here. This build feels really good in Plus. Like, and this can be like your AoE build. Like, if it's 2-target cleave, you want to go more on this side of the tree, which we'll do in a minute, but you have all your Havoc value in here. You have Havoc, Reverse Entropy, Cry Havoc, Rolling Havoc. The build is just really, really, really strong. Now, if you want to go for more of a single target build, I've opted to try and go like this way. Chaos Bolt's here. We go Chaos Bolt, Conflagrate. So the weird thing here is, like, if you're trying to go down to, like, Backdraft or Backlash and things, I guess Entropy, you have to grab Havoc here. Mayhem doesn't do anything in single target, so you have to grab Havoc in a single target build. It feels awkward. I wouldn't mind if this conduit moved somewhere else. It feels weird grabbing this in pure single target, but you sort of have to. Or if they connected like these to it, potentially. Because, like, if you're in a patchwork fight and you're playing Destro for whatever reason, Havoc just... you're never going to use it, but you have to take it to grab either IC or Entropy, which are both good single target abilities. So we'll grab Entropy for now. More on the left side here, Backdraft, Bang. So Soulfire is here. The damage seems a bit awkward, but it's not as bad anymore because you have a talent below it, which makes it better. So Combusting Engine is here as well, the conduit. Conflagrate increases the remaining immolate damage by 8%. We grab that. So you have the option over here of Roaring Blaze or Improved Conflagrate. We know what Roaring Blaze is. It buffs fire spell damage, Immolate, Incinerate, Conflagrate damage. Also Channel Demon Fire, which is right here. Or Improved Conflagrate. Now, Conflagrate has 2 stacks baseline. So you have 2. This adds a 3rd charge to Conflagrate. I think Roaring Blaze is a good bit better here than this. Roaring Blaze seems a lot more powerful than a 3rd Conflagrate stack. Yes, 3 Conflagrates mean a higher Roaring Blaze uptime, but I mean, you can't have both. I wouldn't mind seeing this row shaken up a bit. I feel like Roaring Blaze is a good bit ahead of a 3rd Conflagrate stack, but either way, it is what it is. I've taken Roaring Blaze here. So we have 8 points spent. This row is open. I've gone into Decimation. So your Incinerate and Conflagrate cast on targets to have half or 50% health or less. Reduce the cooldown on Soulfire by 5 seconds. So this makes your Soulfire a 15-ish second cooldown. And pound for pound, the damage does seem better with the cast time taken into account, the reapplication of Immolate, and the 1 Soul Shard. Better than casting Incinerate. So you probably do want to cast this when it's off cooldown. Seems fine, it's okay. But doing this allows you to skip over the cleave stuff. Like this we don't need, this we don't need. Right into Backlash for your 4% crit right there. Bam. So after this, we end up going over here into Channel Demon Fire. You can grab Raging Demon Fire, which says Channel Demon Fire fires additional 2 bolts, which is 4 at max stacks here. I guess 5. Which increase the duration of Immolate on all targets by 0.5. So, Immolate duration increase, a bit of a damage increase. Sounds good. More bolts being fired. Solid. So we're at 14 points now. We need 6 more to open up the final row. Also going around here means you have both Eradication, 16, Ashen, 18, and you have 2 points left. Perfect. Ruin. Ruin is back. Increase the damage of Conflagrate, Channel Demon Fire, Shadowburn, and Soulfire by 10 and by 20. There's your 20 points. Now you can grab Shadowburn here if you want. You can probably take out something in Ashen or Eradication or whatever, because they both feed into here just fine. You can grab this if you want. Shadowburn and Conflagration of Chaos. So this ability, Conflagrate and Shadowburn, have a 25% chance to guarantee your next ability critical strikes of the other. So either Conflagrate or Shadowburn. It's pretty cool. It's a Legion ability from your Scepter of Sargeras. In single target, I'm not sure if it's worth committing the points here into Shadowburn to grab this over like going into Eradication or Ashen Remains. It's possible. It's also possible you just forego Channel Demon Fire and go like this: Shadowburn, Conflagration of Chaos, Ruin. This could very well work too. So either way, you can do whatever you want. This might end up being better. Same thing in the long run, but both options are there for whatever you want. So we have 20 points spent. Final rows open. Infernal. Single target, you're taking Infernal Brand. You might go Crashing Chaos too, but you're taking Infernal Brand. You're probably going Reign of Chaos here, and you have 6 points left. So what do? You've got the option of Power Overwhelming, which seems pretty good in single target. You've got Chaotic Incarnate or Chaos Incarnate, which seems good too. And at this point, you have 7 points left. So you can go into like Ritual of Ruin and grab Double Madness and be done, but you don't get 4-piece. You can remove this and go over here and just go, 2-piece, Master Ritualist, 4-piece, and you're done with Madness here. Or you can maybe put some points over here into Burn to Ashes. Skip Master Ritualist, take the 15-point Ritual of Ruin, and gain a big increase to your Incinerates. So there's a lot of ways you can customize this tree, but Destro can grab both 2-piece, 4-piece, and Inferno with like some juice on it pretty easily. Destro's tree looks pretty wild. There's a lot of customization on it. Some nodes can use a bit of help here. I feel like this could be in a different spot. It's nice, but I don't really take it with either build here. You don't get Kata with this build here either, but I mean, you really don't need Kata. It's nice in single target, but you already have Soulfire to apply Immolates. And hey, kickstart your damage, right? You have this to extend damage on Immolate or duration on Immolate if you want to. The build feels really good. Plus, hey, this is universal, but you get Dimensional Rifts everywhere. And yeah, Decimating Bolt too. And once again, Soul Conduit for every single spec. Destro, it might be one of the better trees I've seen of any class. Like, the returning abilities, Madness, Embers, 2-piece, 4-piece, Reign of Chaos, your Inferno, Wilfrid's, Conflagration of Chaos, Rolling Havoc, Flashpoint, it's good. Destro seems wild. So yeah, that about wraps it up. Thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, the Destro tree out of all 3 specs feels really good to me. Like, there's so many cool iconic abilities returning: Rolling Havoc, Flashpoint, Madness, Embers, 3 Conflagrates, Reign of Chaos, your 2-piece, your 4-piece, Infernal Brand, Wilfrid's. The tree feels like they just took all the cool abilities in the past few years, Crashing Chaos, even though it's reworked, and just shoved them all into one tree. But it works. And it's really, really cool. If you guys have any questions about the tree or comments on things I might have missed here, be sure to drop them down below in the comment section, and I'll be sure to get back to you. And let me know what you guys think of the Destro tree. I'll be having all 3 videos coming out in quick succession between each other. I'm not sure where this video could be. It could be 1, 2, or 3. But if you're looking at actually watching the other 2, there should be a link down below to the other videos on the channel, and feel free to check them out. I really want to know what people's overall feelings are on like what tree is the best. For me, it's probably Destro. But Demo and Af aren't really in that bad of a spot either. So, yeah, we'll see where it goes. While you're down there, be sure to smash the like and sub buttons because it helps out a ton. Thanks for the support, guys, and I'll catch you all again soon on stream. Peace.